Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Silver Tent TV. I'm your host, Siobhan Reardon, along with my dog Elsa, who occasionally can join in, although I've been very successful in all of my recent shows that she's decided to keep quiet. The Silver Tent is a global online community for women over 50 to come and be nurtured, cared for, supported, to realise those dreams that have yet to be realised. It's also a space that provides a platform for sharing the incredible wisdom, that silver wisdom of women over 50. We've been through the many different cycles of life and have both a wealth of life experience, a wealth of professional experience, and a wealth of personal experience. And these TV shows are about highlighting some of that wisdom. And it's with that in mind that I'm delighted to say that all the way from Australia, we have the beloved Kay Shelton. A very warm welcome to you, Kay.
Hello, Siobhan. Such a pleasure to be here.
Kay runs her own company, Kay's Mandala Creations, and today we're really going to explore a bit about that. And I think the first thing to say, for any of you that are regular watchers of Silver Tent TV, you can see it behind me, one of Kay's amazing creations that she did for me. And I remember being incredibly shocked and surprised when we had our session, Kay, because it was completely different to what I was expecting, and it provided a profound insight that really, surprised, amazed, and delighted me. So I think for our audience who don't know about mandalas, let's begin there. What is a mandala?
Mandala is the Sanskrit word for circle. So, it's so simple, but as you can see, and the audience can see from yours, it's become something more explicit, more decorative. So mandala starts with a circle. I always start with a compass, and as soon as the process starts, the drawing compass just goes, and then the pencils start working, and then the water is added. So for people playing with mandalas, it can be a beautiful, repetitive process. The design just keeps repeating, and that becomes meditative. And so it's a beautiful, playful art form that anyone can do.
And someone once described a mandala to me as the universe contained within a circle.
Absolutely. And so, it wouldn't matter which day you sat down to draw a mandala, it would be different every time, because that universe is within you. It's within and it's without. So it would be a different expression every day.
Now, I talked about how shocked I was and how it was a completely different experience to the one I'd been expecting when we had our session. So I think my next question is, how did Kay's mandalas begin?
Well, very interesting journey, actually, because, when the children were small and at school, I was doing realist watercolours art. So I'd sit at the kitchen table after the boys had done everything and dinner's done and dishes done, and I'd sit there and I'd be drawing. That was my sanity saver, being able to indulge myself in art during that process. So I was a realist watercolourist. And also during that time of raising a family and working everything, I was into energy healing. And so, my different courses I did, I was at one stage drawn to the tarot, and I was doing tarot readings for people. And then I was doing colour card readings. And one day I just said to my sister, I want to paint your energy. And whammo, through come the mandalas. And, the words just flowed like they would with a reading, but the art was being created at the same time, and it was just exciting. But that was quite intriguing because I was at her place, and so she had these pastels and paper, and then I came home and I was trying to work out what medium am I going to use that I can work quickly with. And I always had my watercolour pencils on my table, and then the penny dropped and I clicked, yes, use my watercolour pencils. So during the process, as I was naming before, I start with the compass, but then I start automatically, my hand is drawn to the colours, and I have got dozens of different colours here. But the mandala is the expression of your heart energy. It's coming through what your heart wants to be expressed, the sacred geometry of your heart right now, and it is then, once the artwork's created, the recipient receives that, and I always invite them to keep it in their energy field because it's pulling you forward in heart alignment.
That's a beautiful description, and I wanted to talk to you. I want to pick up a number of threads there. So the first one you talked about is colour, and the power of colour. So when you're working with a client, it's just an intuitive process as to which colours you pick up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, sometimes my hand will just keep going around all the pencils until it's got the exact one, because there's a heap of different greens, a heap of different purples, same with yellows, everything. Yes, and it always has to be the specific colour that person's needing right there and then.
And you talked about energy healing. So let's imagine someone's listening that doesn't mean much to them. How would you describe, energy readings?
Well, I was first drawn to Reiki, and that's a very common modality. Most people would understand Reiki, where you're working purely in a person's energy field. But after 7 years of that, I was drawn to pranic healing. And pranic has a lot of very specific protocols in it for treating particular ailments. So it's taking energy healing to a whole other level. Plus you learn how to project colours, not just channel, white energy or whatever. You're really getting involved in the process of the healing. And when a person books a mandala reading, whether they're face-to-face with me sitting here or whether they're at the other side of the world like you were when you received your reading, I do an energy healing on them first so that I'm clearing their energy field and I'm reading purely for them, not all the other people that, they might have been mixing with that day. And as you would be able to name, it's just as effective right across the world, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I remember you took me through a meditation that really, grounded me. And yes, if I had a word to describe it, it did. It kind of cleaned me of everything, and it brought me completely into the room and into the space with you. So it was a very incredibly relaxing process. I think that's one of the first things I would say. It kind of takes you into that soul energy, really, doesn't it? It takes you into that place of the soul, the thing that makes us unique and original in the world.
And it's lovely how you've named that, because a mandala reading takes you back into your heart, your soul, and that's what's coming through in the artwork, that's what's coming through in the words, but it helps you reconnect to what is, right for you right now.
So, so if I'm in the audience and I'm thinking, this sounds, useful, do you want to share with us some of the stories about what a mandala creation gives to a client?
Wow. A mandala reading can give so much amazing clarity, focus, and direction. And it's interesting, the young lasses that I've been doing in the last week, both of them younger than 30. And, you know, they're successful young women, but they're sensing so much more. And there's quite a confusion about it because they're in the corporate type world, but they're sensing this heart-centered yearning that's coming through them. Their spiritual gifts are wanting to emerge. And to be able to talk to someone who understands that and is seeing further than they are, and to be able to give them that clarity and confidence that, oh, wow, this is what I am awakening to, you know, it's a comfort to people.
I know one of the things I think I would say about my creation, so it's there with me every day. It's either behind me or I'm looking at it and I see it every day, is it gave me incredible hope. And whenever I look at it, I experience that real sense of hope.
And that's so beautiful, isn't it? And that's what it's about. It's about your heart, you know, being a visual representation. The sacred geometry in your mandala, the colours, the design, yes, it's giving you that hope. It's because it's your energy just put out there visually.
And I remember I came to you with a topic for us to explore, and we didn't explore it at all, because once you kind of begin the meditation, it's almost like, I remember describing you as one of the most amazing channelers, for want of a better expression. It felt like you were just completely channeling what you saw and what you felt about me and my energy. And it brought an insight to myself and to the talents that I have that I hadn't seen before.
Wow, thank you for naming that. Yes, and that's the gift of it. You know, it really is allowing you to see you, to hear you. And as you've just named there, you know, I sit in that energy to channel, and what is most essential will come through right now. You know, and that's where you were in your life right at that moment. And boy, oh boy, it came through powerfully, didn't it?
It really did. So to anyone who's cynical there about energy, you know, in our audience who you know, not that energy thing again, that woo-woo stuff. Yeah. At the very least, even if you didn't believe in that, you still end up with a beautiful painting that can adorn your walls. One of the things I would say. But we in the Silver Tent, we talk a lot about energy, don't we? Because we would have many people, sisters, silver sisters, that would understand the whole world, the quantum world, and the world of quantum physics, and that we are energetic beings, and made up of frequencies that interrelate with the universe.
And that's exactly it. I am working in the quantum field. That's where I'm picking all this up from. And, you know, even if you were to look at a beautiful painting, you know, it gives you a feeling, doesn't it? Say if you're looking at a Rembrandt or any piece of art, it has an energetic feeling, and you have an energetic response to it. That ah-ness, you know, and so energy is so real, as we know. Everything on this earth is made of energy, including us. And so, you know, even if you were looking at a beautiful Rembrandt, the energy of that artwork affects you. So the gift of the mandala is it's your heart energy. And so it has that vibration in the colours the design, and what I always invite people to do is certainly keep it in their energy field, so it's, you know, just subtly pulling them forward, because it works on the conscious and the subconscious level. And also I invite people to rotate them, because if you rotate yours, for example, this one was one I created for the silver tent, for the silver crones one time. If you rotate it, see how the design is playing differently on your mind, on your body, and the colours, because of the different directions, are activating you in different ways as well. So, yeah, it was lovely your lead in about colour, because every colour has a vibration. So it's working at a different level upon you. Mm.
And thank you for that reminder. I need to rotate mine, because another thing that you gift your clients is the recording as well of the session. So it's something that you can keep revisiting. And every time I revisit it, I get another kernel of insight from what you were saying, because it's an incredibly rich session. I know that you provide sessions for all ages and men and women, and it lasts about an hour, doesn't it?
That's right, yes.
From that, you know, beginning to end, and then you're left with this beautiful creative gift. How long has Kay's Mandala Creations been in existence?
Probably 3 or 4 years.
Okay, so
maybe 4.
So over those 4 years, how much would you say is personal, people approaching you for personal insight, and how much is about professional insight?
Oh, great question. Because I also have a business package, which is separate too. So when a person has a mandala reading session with me, as we've already named, they get the energy healing, then they watch in real time, you know, their artwork unfolding. And as you named, they'll then receive, if it's via Zoom like this, they'll receive the MP4 recording. I also invite them to ask any questions they like whilst the psychic channel is open for them. So it can be just their personal stuff, or it can be to do with their work life. And certainly those young lasses last week, there was a lot of balance, you know, between private life, work life, because they're trying to find their new balance. But if a person wishes to work at the business level, I have this 4-session package, which I get them to have their personal one first, because your personal energy is very separate to your business energy. And we create that business mandala, and then we go on to the next session is an energy session where I'm cleansing the energy of you, your business, and the relationship between the two of them. And the third one is where I'm trying to think of the word, inject or place into you the energy of your business. It's an energetic term that we place in you, and it just leaves that person feeling so inspired and tingling. It's quite an exciting little process. And then the final session is another mandala, because it's going to be very different by the end of the 4 sessions, taking their business forward. But I have also worked with some people on the business level, you know, for months, or even on the personal level for months. But another one of the exciting ones that I have done is with groups, you know, sitting with a group of women and channel a mandala for that group. So,
which is what you did with the silver crowns that you had.
Yes.
And I remember the richness of that, the incredible richness, and and how you were able to show how the energy of each woman speaking contributed to that, the sum of the parts, I suppose.
And, you know, the gift of the mandala is I more or less just step aside. I'm the conduit. And so what, you know, designs and drawings and specific shapes and things, I get to the end of a mandala and I think, oh my gosh, I've just created that. But it comes through me. Sometimes I think, you know, I couldn't have done that. But, you know, yeah, it's being that clear conduit. It's always such a surprise, but always such a beautiful gift at the end for even me to see it. But certainly a lot of fun for the recipient.
And absolutely, that's the experience of being a recipient, is that you've been a conduit, and you can really feel that as you're going through the session. Kate, it's been amazing talking to you, and your incredible, you know, sharing more about your incredible service. For anyone that wants to contact you, and I really recommend it, whether it's for the personal package or the business package, we come to you via Facebook, isn't it? Kay's Mandala Creations.
Yes, that's where it's at the moment, and that's Kay's Mandala and Creations with a K.
Okay.
Can I just share Franny's?
Oh, that would be lovely. So this is Francesca Cassini, founder of the Silver Tent. And wow, look at that. And you can see how different they are.
Yes.
And one is unique.
And see, you know, this was when she was in the process of birthing the Silver Tent. And look at you know, how all the countries are encompassed and all these trees coming out everywhere. It's just fascinating, isn't it?
It's amazing. It's beautiful. I hadn't seen that one.
Oh, haven't you? Yeah. It is a special one. You know, as I said, I am stunned when I see what comes through from somebody's exquisite heart energy. So it's a gift to be able to work at that level with people.
Wonderful. It's a lovely place to end. Kay, thank you so much for coming and sharing more about your work and the incredible creations with a K that you share with the world. As someone who has personally benefited from it, I can't recommend it highly enough. It's a unique, original, and beautifully insightful service that you share with the world.
Siobhan, thank you very, very much for inviting me to be here today.
It's been lovely.
Lovely to share what I do. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wherever you are in the world, if the sun isn't shining in your skies, may it shine in your heart. This is Siobhan Reardon signing off from Silver Tent TV.